Hello, my name is Ray Fox, and I would like to share some thoughts that I expressed in a poem about a congresswoman from the 14th District of New York by the name of Alexandria Cortez, also known as AOC. In my poem, I'm reacting to her radical communist policies and many of her crazy, outlandish statements she has made since being elected. Her radical ideas are insane, and I strongly believe she needs to be voted out of office as soon as possible, along with the squad and all the other nut jobs that agree with her policies. And without further ado, I'd like to recite my poem, which I titled AOC. Alexandria Cortez, also known as AOC, acolyte of Bolshevik Bernie Sanders, the communist senator who works in Washington, D.C., graduated cum laude from Boston College in economics and international relations, doesn't really know much about legal immigration. She claims she has all the answers with the squad as a democratic socialist, but really doesn't understand that her ideas and her radical democratic policies are ludicrous. Worked her way up the economic ladder from bartender and waitress, taking advantage of our American way of life as a capitalist, living the American dream by accomplishing and fulfilling her goals, now getting paid big bucks on the American tax-paying payroll, living the life of a capitalist by selling her t-shirts with all her bogus slogans on it, spewing bullshit, voicing her opinion in Congress as facts, when in reality we all know she is speaking out of her ass. She claims to be for the children, especially the poor. Her policies undermining our democracy cannot be ignored. Supports Planned Parenthood, which has annihilated over 63 million babies since 1973. Doesn't seem to mind when Biden supports tax-paying dollars signing his executive decrees. This means nothing to AOC. Okay for Antifa and BLM to riot and loot and burn buildings down while so-called peacefully marching on the streets. Thinks it's a great idea to defund and dismantle the police. Has no problem when cops are hit in the head with bats, bricks, and sticks, causing many concussions. Supports bailing these BLM and Antifa thugs out of prison without any repercussions. Compared the treatment of migrants at our southern border worse than the Holocaust, forgetting that most of the illegal immigrants come freely at the expense of American taxpayer cost. The Jews during Hitler's reign were forced to leave their homes, something AOC forgot. Sent to concentration camps, experimented on, gassed, and shot dead. Maybe AOC should take a history course instead of talking like an idiotic speaking bonehead. Moreover, absurdly believes that prostitution should be legalized and our borders should be open. Criminals like the drug cartel see these opportunities to enrich themselves these very moments, taking advantage of these open borders by selling drugs and making money off human trafficking. And knowing the fact our Border Patrol police are being overwhelmed at the border even more baffling. Children being held in confined spaces with scabies and the flu, as well as COVID-19. Seemingly no big deal for the woman now living like a queen. Lives in the lap of luxury in 2 apartments in splendid condition, while her grandmother in Puerto Rico lives in misery without adequate provisions. Maybe she should distribute some of her wealth and help her abuela out, instead of talking like a tooth-faced fool out both sides of her mouth. Dramatically claimed on January 6th her life was threatened by an unarmed, alleged, mostly peaceful insurrection. We all know she was a block away with Capitol Police protection. Always whining and complaining she's misunderstood. We would be better off if she left Congress and applied for a job in Hollywood. She claims to have policies to solve our problems. One of them is to raise taxes for the Green New Deal, $100 trillion as a stratagem. Give everything away for free. Free college and free health care for all. Let's live and be carefree. Rob Peter to pay Paul, no big deal. For this is the way to give away a Happy Meal. AOC, the so-called democratic socialist, pretending to be an advocate for the poor, when in reality supports Cuban Marxists. Defending communist ideologies such as Cuba, which suppresses human liberty, wreaking havoc, death, and destruction by taking away human dignity. Promising to make a utopian-like paradise, a reality that can never take place in this life. Says nothing with those censoring and disagreeing with her position, colluding with big tech and the media mob to silence the opposition. AOC, please, Open up your mind and heart to see that communist regimes over the years have failed. 100 million dead and counting in its wake due to starvation, torture, while sending innocent people to jail. Falsely claiming our society is systemically racist, promoting absurd critical race theories that white men are born inherently racist. Anyone with common sense knows these ideas are baseless. Furthermore, her warped mind thinks defunding the police is the best way to promote peace, while crime is at an all-time high in our city streets. Doesn't matter when teenagers are being shot dead. Claims jails are our biggest problem and that we should build more hospitals instead. Talks out of her ass and flip-flops like a typical politician. Cowers and hides like a wimp when called out to debate her political positions. Shows her true colors that she's full of contradictions. Spewing vile out of her mouth with utter pretentiousness that her democratic socialist policies are pernicious. She needs to go away and be voted out of office. We have to put her in the squad and all the democratic arrogant elites as well as the rhinos on notice. That we, the American people, are not going to put up with policies undermining our democracy. We have to stop putting up with their hypocrisy and peacefully and patriotically make our voices heard to ensure our God-endowed constitutional inalienable rights to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness must be preserved. We are the land of the free, where the United States flag is held and revered as a symbol of freedom and liberty for all to see, where men and women are not judged by the color of the skin, but by the content of their character, that all life, despite our skin color, without exception, really and truly matters, where we hope to make our nation a beacon of light shining on the hill, and not about greedy, pompous politicians more interested in subverting God's will. For we have the opportunity before us to make a difference, starting with getting rid of the squad along with AOC to make them all irrelevant, and promoting and voting for candidates with common sense and hopefully some intelligence. Getting back to implementing policies that are put America first for all our citizens with all due diligence. For this will be the only way to make America great again. And remember to always peacefully and patriotically make your voices heard. And may God bless you all, and may God bless the United States of America. Have a great day.